Hello and welcome back to another Sims 3 build video. My name is Billy. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I do Sims 3 speed builds every fortnight, and I now also upload a Sims 3 Supernatural Let's Play every week. So this week I'm doing a bit of a restructure slash refurnishing of the townhouse build I did about a month ago. Yeah, I said I would probably do it at some point. I didn't anticipate it being so soon, but I just kind of felt like it. And this is kind of basically taking what was, a single studio apartment in a townhouse, and instead it's the whole townhouse is like the apartment or the house, and it's more of like a family home almost. It's the whole 3 stories just for your sim family. So on that, the lot, just like the last one in this shell, was a 30 by 20. It is 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, so plenty of space for a large sim family, and it has a nursery and all. As I mentioned last time, feel free to change it up, change out the layout, anything like that, or use a different townhouse, but you will need to use a couple of cheats, so buydebug and buildbuyrestrictinbuildings, just to make sure that you can edit everything outside of the townhouse apartment, basically. So yeah, starting off with the kitchen, I did kind of freehand the internal structure quite a bit with like placing down the walls, so it took me a little bit longer than I think I was initially expecting. Probably didn't translate that way in video, but I had a lot of internal debate about how it's going to fit in the bedrooms, because the townhouse is quite narrow, and so it's like kind of an awkward configuration where you want there to be plenty of space for like a double bed in some of those rooms, but it's hard, it's difficult. But just chuck down the furniture in the kitchen, the dining room, and the lounge, and now I'm getting on to picking out the patterns for the bathroom. I did use a custom pattern for tile again for the first time in a while. Yeah, I think I did that a couple of times initially, because I do prefer the custom tile patterns I have a lot more. But I try to avoid using them because I always forget which ones I have, and I have to dig through my files, which I prefer not to do. But yeah, I did it this time, yeah. And it looks really good, so I'm probably going to keep doing it once I know which tile it is I like. I can remember it and like easily link it back. Yeah, just checking up a hallway mirror. There are a few places where things look to be clipping through the stairs and things like that. It's unavoidable, not much I can do about it, my apologies. I'm sure there are ways to hide it. I tried to get the mirror to hide it a little bit, but that's what it is. And I used a full kitchen set in the kitchen, a custom content one. I didn't use, I think, the stove or the fridge or anything like that from it, because the fridge fits in a little bit weirdly. I don't know, it seemed to like stick to the side or it sticks to the back, that kind of stuff. So I didn't use that fridge, I just used one from the base game. But yeah, it's the April kitchen from Art Vitalix, I think. It's very good. I love using it, but I haven't used it so much, if at all, in my build so far, I don't think. But I tend to use it a lot in like farmhouse builds because of that like nice glass cabinet. But yeah. So if you're downloading that, obviously all custom content links will be in the description down below, as will be any expansion packs, store content, stuff packs that I use in my builds. You know the drill. But yeah, I do recommend with that one, I think, just downloading the whole set if you want, or just all the counters. Because I used a fair chunk of it, which is kind of good on my part, I guess. Makes downloading it easier than going piece by piece. But yeah, and I use the Parenthood conversion shower and tub. I determined to have a bath in like most every build where I can, or where it makes sense, because in real life, I can't live without a bathtub, like legitimately. When I was looking for my own house, I was like, anything without a bathtub, or where like the house isn't so cheap where I could afford to like do my own renovations and put one in, like where like the bathroom wasn't already modernized or whatever and you'd have to redo it anyway. If it didn't have space for a bath and it wasn't like cheap and needed a bathroom redo, or it didn't have one at all, I just avoided it. I couldn't do it. I need a bathtub to just soak in. And so I'm going to assume the Sims need to do the same. And also bubble baths in the Sims 3 are just my favourite. I always tend to forget to buy bubble bath from the supermarket in game, but I do love it when my Sims take bubble baths. And I went fairly interesting with all the rooms in this build, and I wanted a nice little seat under the window because I thought it was cute. But, you know, I did like a nice kind of themed bedroom for the kids' room. And yeah, this house is really built in mind with you know, a couple of kids. Maybe a teen sim or a young adult not quite ready to start out their life in the big wide world, and, you know, a baby or toddler, and a couple of parents. So I tried to fit in a whole family. But that kid's room is going to get really cramped by the time any of those Sims turn into teens. My apologies, but unavoidable in this house. But I did manage to fit in a desk and a computer as well, a shared one, so that's nice. But I do truly love this teen room that I'm just starting to furnish now. I thought it was a bit different to what I normally do, almost, in a way. One example is I end up chucking in a stereo, I think almost... Oh no, I chuck in a stereo right away. I'm surprised. I thought I did that like last minute. I lied to myself. I didn't, but I thought it turned out so cute. I liked having a stereo in there, like they're a slightly rebellious teen listening to music. I don't think I often like put music players in my lots. Like, I don't actually put a whole lot of appliances in at all, except like, you know, a TV or a computer, which is partially because I feel like it's up to you when you download these, like whatever appliances you want to use for your Sims. Like, I don't think I really get my Sims to use microwaves that much, or, you know, if they've got a stereo, I'm having them turn it off all the time. Just because, you know, Sims need to sleep. That's kind of important. Things like that. So I don't really play with them that much. Or like if I do, they're kind of in the way. So I don't know if other people necessarily want them. And actually another room that I really love in this build, aside from the teen room, I love the nursery. And actually this is going to just turn into me gushing about how I love every single room in this build. Not really though, the parents' room's pretty like boring. I tried to go for like a beachy theme by the end of this, but it's like pretty tame and pretty boring. I could have gone more full out, but I didn't. But it's fine. But just starting my journey of recoloring everything in this household. I went kind of with a lot of darker woods outside of the bedrooms, and I did try and vary like the wood coloring in the bedrooms. You know, like I tried to match the wood color a little bit to the pattern on the wallpaper in the kids' room and things like that. I really wanted to go for like a birch forest feel with like an animal vibe and nature and that. So that was fun. I did have a lot of debate though. Not so much picking this pattern here with the paw prints. That was like super easy. The second one was a struggle because I couldn't make it too feminine, and so I did just like kind of cut through, because the amount of time I spent picking out a pattern there, so long. And I'm gonna have the exact same struggle just a little bit later when I finally like go through and place down rugs, because I could not figure out like a kind of natural but like fairly neutral pattern at all. Yeah, I couldn't. It was a struggle, truly. And like, as I'm watching this, it's terrible. I thought I had listed down all the custom content that like I was gonna need to include when I uploaded this. I didn't. I forgot the patterns that I use them. It's terrible of me. Yeah. So I'm just casually noting those down in the background as I see them pop up. Because oopsie daisies, that wouldn't have been fun. Yeah, just recoloring the teen room. I really... It's very much so a similar colour scheme, I'd say, to the studio apartment, the stage studio apartment that was in the shell. I went very much so green for that teen room, but it came out really cute. It's a very calm room, very feminine, but yeah, it's just fun playing around with patterns. I think I am definitely getting more into using custom patterns because it's not actually the worst thing in the world to figure out which ones I've used. Because I've got the Sims 3 mod organizer, so that's like easier for me to see the previews of everything. But sometimes finding the link can still be a bit difficult. But here I'm really wanting to use like a custom pattern. I want something that's kind of like a sandy, beachy, maybe a little bit tropical vibe. So hard. So I just went with this one and tried to like make it like ocean and sand kind of colors and feelings. But yeah. And I think I kind of like trapped myself in that I made the back wall like relatively dark initially because I didn't want it to be like light color like the rest of the build. I wanted to distinguish it. And then I think, I can't remember if I lightened it up or not, but definitely like the vibe of the furniture in there is not quite so dark. Because I went for a beachy like vibe. But yeah, and I loved all of this furniture in the nursery after I recolored it, especially the dresser there, which is from around The Sims 3. I just liked, it was unexpected, the planked wood, how good that looked in there. It was truly perfection. I loved it. And then just recoloring the bathroom. I do have a great order of things. I really, truly do. I just chuck everything in now and then I go through and recolor it. Because I think, yeah, I think I tend not to actually go into these builds with a set theme right at the start. Like maybe, say structurally, I might, in terms of like, I'll know what type of lot I'm going to build. I might have done like a quick sketch of what I'm going to build, but I don't have a theme of like colors or like necessarily interior design or vibe or anything like that. So it is really just heavily done on the fly. And man, I struggled with rugs so much. It was not a good time. Rugs were difficult. But I got there eventually. Every room, I think, had a rug. But did I put one under the dining table? I think I did. I think I did. But yeah, here's my struggle. It doesn't actually look as long, I think, on the recording. But I went through like all of those patterns at least like once or twice before I settled on like the leaves. I'm like, yeah, no, this'll have to do. There's nothing else. But that one's a really tricky pattern to work with because of some of those leaves, like it recolors multiple areas, like you can't distinguish the outline so much. So it's a pain to work with that one. You can't really customize it much, if at all. So, yeah. But I like the rug I went with in the parents' room because it's kind of like almost those, like the sand, the lines in the sand, raking it. Kind of like a Zen garden, I guess. Yeah, so I was happy with that. And this rug turned out super cute as well. The nursery just needed 2 rugs. because I put in a raised platform for once, which should work fine, I think. It's got a good man distance. I think it'll work fine. I did also make sure to playtest just getting into the townhouse in general, because I was very nervous. Because there's a specific technique you have to use if you're on foundations for a townhouse, because I was like following a build guide, and I hoped for some reason I could get away without doing it. No, I couldn't. Because you need, if your house or your apartment lot is on a foundation, what you need to do is basically, you need to have like a gated area on top of the foundations that like you put the public room marker like behind the gate but before your front door. For each of them, so that you can mark the others as NPC doors. And I, like, that was not gonna vibe with what I was building, but luckily Showtime seemed to have, like, this gate that was, like, an open entryway. So I used that, and I don't know how anyone else gets around it if they do, because I haven't, like, seen a ton of foundation, like, townhouses built for some reason. But man, it's fun. But I made it work. It was just that the gates I ended up putting in like kind of clipped in, so I had to put a column to cover it because I didn't want to see it. But it worked. It worked and it looked good in my opinion. Which is all that truly matters. I am in a way doing this for myself. But I mean, as always, if you enjoy these videos, please do like and subscribe, leave a comment if you want to. Yeah, if you're enjoying this, please stick around. But I do kind of do these builds mainly for myself. But yeah, and I had fun with the posters in this teen room, but I couldn't quite figure out how to like layer things together. I think it turned out pretty nice. It's not too chaotic, but it works. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. I loved putting this tumbler in the bedroom. I'm someone who always has a drink bottle next to me. Because I don't like drinking from like an open glass because I have a bunch of cats and I don't want hair in my drink. So I always have a drink bottle, so... But I like drinking out of straws, so the tumbler is like really fun for me. And I need a tumbler, I really do. Like me personally. Because they would be great, but none of them are dishwashable. You can't put them through the dishwasher, and that sucks because I hate hand washing things with passion, so that wouldn't work for me. So I haven't found the perfect one just yet. It'd be cool if I could get like a glass one or something like that, with a good lid that's not too bad for the environment or like not full of microplastics. That'd be cool, but seemingly doesn't exist here, at least not right now, because I have a ton of glass straws and things like that. Full reusable. But yeah, I also had fun furnishing the kids' room. I didn't go too crazy with it, but I liked it. It was kind of very much so on a whim to put up the coat rack in there, but it was cute. And yeah, just finishing touches really at this point, just some decor. The plants are coming in as well now. And always the same plants as usual, they're always the same ones. Makes it super easy for me to link them, but I don't know if anyone's getting bored of them. You might be. But they look good. And yeah, I tend to find plants that look somewhat similar color-wise, like nothing too crazy. So that's also part of the reason why I go for the same ones every time, because I don't have... I mean, technically it looks like I have a ton of different plant options, but ultimately I feel like I don't. Maybe it's just a me problem, and I have tons of options, I just refuse to use them. But yeah, I feel like I've got a limited number that I like how they work together. But yeah, some more wall art, finishing touches. Yeah, and I think off camera was where I kind of played around more with making sure it was a working townhouse. But yeah, don't build townhouses, kids. Apartments are painful and a hassle, but I guess it's kind of rewarding when you have your own custom ones. So yeah, if you want to refurnish it, please do. Save yourself the effort of having to build a townhouse. But we're pretty much wrapping it up here, just some more decorating. We'll be going into screenshots soon. So really, I just want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy the screenshots and see you next time. Bye!